This shit.
I'm slowly making the fader out. Okay, there we go. Hi, welcome to the Filmmaker IQ Pubcast, the May night edition. My usual partner here in crime is unfortunately sick and watching from at home, hopefully in bed, trying to recover. And yeah, so I'm by myself tonight. So hi, folks. Unfortunately, I didn't take that. There's a mic stand over there that's like blocking my view, but I can kind of see what your guys' chat are, what the chat is going on tonight. I just got myself a LaCroix, and we're going to pop the sucker. So cheers, everyone. Hi, Karma. How you here? Yes, it's true. You're here, so we can start now the official May broadcast of the Pubcast. So, if you are a pop culture fan, as I am, obviously, because I make movies and I love movies. Let's toss that over there. Oh, by the way, for some reason my FiOS, the battery is dead. So every 5 minutes you might hear a loud beeping. That's not the fire alarm. That's the battery on the FiOS being weird. Hi, Nick Billups, how you doing? Welcome to our Pubcast. So this is a Pubcast. We just hang out, we chat, I talk to you guys, whatever you guys want to talk about. I'll start with what I want to talk about. We're not going to go too much into spoiler territory, so if you guys haven't been keeping up with what's going on last weekend, we're not going to actually go too deep into spoilers. We're probably going to save that for the next time when Joe is here, because Joe and I can converse back and forth. But I just wanted to make a few thoughts, a few comments on what the heck happened last weekend. We had Avengers Endgame, which I put a video out, if you haven't checked it out, my spoiler-free review, where it was really, I was moved to make that about, because there was a lot of articles out there that I felt were not understanding what Endgame really was. It is not another Marvel movie. It is the culmination of years of effort by a lot of people. So I wanted to get that across, that you can't just look at Endgame and say, okay, well, you know, DC's next movie is going to do just as well as Endgame. No, it doesn't work that way. DC has to work at it to make their Endgame. And I'm a DC fan. I like Superman. I like Batman. Those are actually probably more my favorite characters. The characters I grew up with were Superman and Batman. Spider-Man to a lesser extent, but those are the two. So DC, obviously I like DC. I'm saying what Marvel did was quite an accomplishment, especially in the history of film. Let's face it. I mean, come on. You look at the serials from the 1930s, Batman and Superman serials, and you think, someday that movie's going to make $1 billion at the box office on the opening weekend. You're like, are you crazy? No. Anyhow, so Endgame is amazing. If you haven't seen it, I'll get to more thoughts about that later in just a bit. And the question from just to see, I do see, yes, some English guy asked if I saw the Sonic trailer. Yes, we'll get to that in a little bit. Hi, Peak 101, how are you doing? I'm gonna take a sip of my LaCroix real quick because my throat is drying out. So on the other end, we had Game of Thrones, which is interesting because I think people. Now, I'll just be frank with you guys. I like both Endgame and the episode of Game of Thrones. I'll go into what my point is a little bit, but Game of Thrones, I think the opposite happened with Game of Thrones. People kind of are looking at Game of Thrones as if that is the ultimate episode, that is the final conclusion that we're working toward. It's not. We've got 3 more episodes to go, and what I was reading about George R.R. Martin talking about how Game of Thrones is he's less interested in the battles. And yes, we can fight the Night King, and I won't go too much into spoilers, but I mean, it's out there. If you're not following, if you haven't seen it yet, you're probably not following. We defeat the Night King. Okay. But the thing is, that's not the point of Game of Thrones. Game of Thrones has always been, how do we rule? And George R.R. Martin has said that. A lot of people have said that. So we have to kind of get this out of the way, this big existential threat, and now move on to what's more interesting. So my point I wanted to make, and I'm just going to kind of keep it brief because I know we're starting to talk into, hi, Craig, and hi, back. I'll be going, my battery's dying now. Oh, I'll see you later, Nick. Plug your power in, come back and join us. But what's really weird to me, it seems, when we have these big, humongous pop culture events, is the kind of pushback we get of like trolling and negative behavior. Like, okay, look, I'm a fan of these two franchises. I'm not a fan of Harry Potter. I'll be honest, I don't particularly care for Harry Potter. But if Harry Potter was having a big old weekend and everyone was talking about Harry Potter, I don't think I would feel the need necessarily let everyone in the world know that I don't like Harry Potter. I'm just saying that now because I'm just saying that as kind of an example. But or to go watch Harry Potter and then say it is a horrible, horrible movie, blah 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 blah. I feel like there is a lot of like attention seeking to try to get just internet attention for not liking. And what's worrisome, I think, first of all, that is kind of a shallow reading. Obviously, it's just that's immediate snap response. What's worrying more is how that drives the narrative. So, like, I posted an article on my Facebook about how there's military strategists out there talking about how crappy the strategy for the Game of Thrones season 3 was, and yeah, they have a point. It is horrible strategy. They could have done much better. However, I don't think that takes away the dramatic impact of the show. And I think I still found the show riveting. I didn't have a problem seeing it in the dark, and I watched it on like a 10-year-old Sony TV. So, well, shoot, that thing's like 15 years old now. Anyhow, I didn't have a really problem with the show. I feel like you find a narrative, you find a niggling, you pull on a thread, and you start pulling that thread over and over again, and you create this alternate narrative about how horrible the show is, and then people start buying into it because it's kind of fun and easy to say is how horrible it is. And I know I'm making like parallels to Star Wars here, but I think sometimes you just need to kind of step back and look at kind of the bigger picture. I don't know. I'm still working through my mind how do I think about this, because at the end of the day, even when I read that review and I thought, or the military strategy review, and I absolutely thought, man, they are absolutely right about that detail, I still feel wonderful about the episode. So, but I think what happens is that you can tie onto a theory or like a thread. It's kind of like, and I'm not throwing shade on Red Letter Meter, because I think they absolutely created a wonderful takedown of the prequels. But I kind of worry that now we're using the Red Letter Media's review, which is in depth and thoughtful, and taking all the surface elements out of it and just regurgitating it. We need to look at his review in depth and thoughtfulness, and not just take the little pickings and run away with them. Anyhow, that's my soapbox. I just need a graphic for a soapbox. Let's talk. There's that ringing there. Let's talk about what you guys want to talk about. So we asked about Sonic the Hedgehog. Yeah, that was horrible. And so I guess the director now said that he's going to redesign the character based on all the public outcry over the thing. Man, I thought it was like Fireman Bill coming back to life. I mean, it's Jim Carrey's performance is like so weird and 90s-esque. I mean, it just felt really, really bizarre. Let's talk about some other things. Hey, John, where is your partner in crime? So Bad Karma, I mentioned earlier, he is not feeling well, so he's taking the day off. Hopefully he'll be coming and joining us in the comments soon. Have you seen Everything Beautiful is Far Away? Nope, I have not, and I should probably watch that. I'm looking for some movies to put on my queue. The novels or the film? Oh, you said Star Wars. Okay. Yeah, I think you were talking about how I was discussing Game of Thrones. Now, on other news, The Expanse, which we have to mention The Expanse. We have to mention The Expanse every day on the show. Even if Joe's not here, I've got to talk about The Expanse. I've gone through all of the books on audio tape. I'm not a great reader, but I love listening to audio tapes. If you want, go to audible.com/filmmakeriq. I think we're still doing that. Oh, that's a bad link. Never mind. Is it? I can't see. Anyhow, yeah. If you want some free audiobooks, go over there. But yeah, listen to all the newest novels on The Expanse, and yeah, man, we if you're following the show The Expanse, which I absolutely think you should, we are like early in the craziness that's about to happen, and the, well, spoilerish warning, the kind of red wedding that might happen in the future of The Expanse, which is going to be devastating. The other peak brings up Peter Mayhew is gone, the only good actor on the Star Wars films. Yeah, Peter Mayhew, the gentle giant Chewbacca, has moved on to the other side and is now a force spirit amongst all of us. I don't mean to make light of the man's career, but definitely sad bit of news. David Simmons says, I swear, John, please no Endgame spoilers. I'm begging you, man. Grandma's coming by. Oh, cool. So in Endgame, Buzz Lightyear takes the Infinity Stones to the beyond. Just kidding. Obviously, Buzz Lightyear dies. Just, again, horrible spoilers for Endgame. Okay, I'm not going to spoil it because I do believe that people are entitled. Look, here's the obvious truth is you only get to watch a movie once in your life. You can only experience a movie for the first time once in your life. After that, you're always re-experiencing it and all that. However, there is some research coming out of UC System, where they took a bunch of people and they gave them a short story. And it's actually one of the stories we talked about on the Hitchcock show that I did with I'm trying to remember the Hitch 20. Hitch 20. We did on this, the Roald Dahl story about the woman who kills her husband with a frozen lamb leg. Spoiler, right? Okay, so what happens in this Hitchcock Presents is the husband's dead. We can't find the bludgeoning object, and then the wife's like, "Well, I'm sorry, we can't find it." Well, I made this leg of lamb, and you might as well eat it, cops. And the cop's like, oh, "Okay, we'll sit down and eat this leg of lamb," not knowing that she used the frozen leg of lamb to kill her husband, and now they're eating the murder weapon, right? So they gave the people the story, and they spoiled it. Here's a story about a woman who kills her husband with a frozen leg of lamb. And then the other group, they said, here's a story by Roald Dahl. And turns out the people that enjoyed the short story more were the ones that actually got the spoiler. So go figure. It turns they did a lot of different studies. They try to figure out how, if we incorporate the spoiler here or here, how does it affect? And yeah, people that know where the story is going tend to relax and enjoy the journey more. It's like the example they were making was that the example they're giving was if you're driving down the Highway 1 in California, it's a windy road. It's miserable. It's actually in many Hitchcock films. And you don't know the road. You're just staring at the road trying to figure out where the next curve is, right? But if you know the road real well, then you can look up a little bit and you can see all the beautiful sights because that road just winds right around the coast. It's gorgeous. There's otters playing in the ocean, right? If you know where the story is going, you can enjoy what's going on around you. Another point they were making was like, okay, look, everyone's seen. I'm going to spoil all of you guys, but Kaiser Soze is Kevin Spacey is Kaiser Soze, right? But people still rewatch that film, and they rewatch it, and they still enjoy the movie, even though they already know the ending. So spoilers may not be as important as people make them out to be. However, there is kind of a social construct where I'm not going to ruin a surprise for somebody in the first couple days. Once it's kind of gotten into the zeitgeist of the culture, like I'm going to spoil it for you. Oedipus sleeps with his mom. All right? I'm sorry. You've had 2,000 years to read that freaking play. Oedipus sleeps with his mom. I'm spoiled. Look, spoilers become part of cultural zeitgeist. Romeo and Juliet die. Hell, Shakespeare says it in the freaking opening lines. The star-crossed lovers doomed to death or whatever it is. So yeah, spoilers, but I'm not going to spoil Endgame because give you guys a chance to watch it, experience for the first time, be part of that first enjoyment. And obviously, if those guys that are that guy that was again in Australia or whatever that was yelling spoilers and got beaten, yeah, you kind of deserved it. I'm sorry. I know that's harsh. You shouldn't conduct violence. You want to be an a-hole online? That's cowardly. You be an a-hole in public. You realize, yeah, you're gonna get your butt beat. I'm purposely drawing my cursing to a level here, but anyhow, let's take a look back in the comments here. Bad Karma says Hitchcock. He took the Hitchcock 20 lesson. Endgame wasn't a movie for me, but more of a fan's. Yes, that's exactly what the point when in my non-spoiler review I was talking about. It's not you can't treat it as another movie. You have to look at it as a culmination of all these movies that have come together and produced this content. I think as you have to treat it that way, even as a person just watching it. You really can't judge it unless you've. I'm not trying to gatekeep here because you can obviously watch the films if you've never seen any of the other films, but you're not going to understand kind of the entire meaning of everything. Relax and enjoy the ride. That's why people enjoy a good scotch. I should have some scotch in the office. I do have some wild turkey, but I have to go over there and open it, and I don't feel like it. PCH Highway 1, baby. Okay, interesting theory. I don't think I would have enjoyed Mulholland Drive as much if I knew something's going in. I don't know. That is the big mystery of life, right? How you can never go back and do that test. You can never go back and say, I'm gonna rewatch Mulholland Drive, but I'm not gonna remember anything from it. You don't know. If I told you, what the real meaning of the story. I've watched Mulholland Drive recently. I'm well past the I don't get what's going on stage. The movie's pretty obvious to me, at least now. When I first saw it, it was like, whoa, mind blown. I still enjoy it. I still enjoy the craft. I still enjoy the journey that David Lynch at that time has this ability to create this journey that just takes you. And I think Dave Simmons is the one that. Or one of those guys didn't like Mulholland Drive very much. I'm not sure it was David Simmons there. But yeah. Let's go on to the next comment here. Let's see. Also, okay, we're going to take a 5-second break here while I move this mic so I can actually see your comments. Hold on 1 second. All right, ta-da. That's much better. Okay, I don't know what happened there. All right, so the novel was better than the movie. The novel was better than the movie, John. I'm not sure which one. I think you're talking about Endgame. The Endgame novel was way better than the movie. Are you going to see Tolkien when it is released? I don't even know about anything about Tolkien. I will. Yeah, sure. I have the AMC All Stars Movie Pass because ever since we got that Movie Pass deal, I got addicted to the subscription services for movies. Because let's face it, that's the way to go. Get a subscription, $20 a month. Go see 3 movies a week. I don't go see 3 movies a week, unfortunately, but you can. So heck, you want to see a crappy movie? Go see a crappy movie. There's no pressure. That's what I love about the Movie Pass. The Movie Pass was terrible, and it failed me so badly. You know why it failed me? Because one weekend I wanted to go see a movie. I wanted to see Mission Impossible Fallout. That's when the fallout for Movie Pass happened. I wanted to see Mission Impossible. And you know what Movie Pass said? No. They said you have a choice. You can watch The Meg or you can watch Slender Man. And I'm like, go to hell, Movie Pass. So and Gotti. Take that. Anyhow. Let's see. Robert's on a David Lynch craze. You know what movie of David Lynch I haven't seen but I really want to see is the one where he's talking about the farmer. Is that the heartfelt good old fashioned story or something like that? That's the one I haven't seen, but I really want to see because I heard it's really good and it surprises the heck out of you for being a David Lynch film. And W. Clark, been watching The Expanse, getting into a different level. Don't have to follow the plot since I know it. Enjoying performances. Yeah. Again, like the thing with The Expanse is just how much wisdom is in the strategy of the film. And 20 course. Yeah, I pulled Eraserhead, Fro. There you go. Get that Eraserhead going. Not enjoying it more, but definitely differently. From the collection and put it in the watch pile. The Straight Story. Thank you. Straight Story. That's the one I want to watch. I have not seen it yet. I gotta see it. No spoilers. Nah, you're kidding. You spoil it all you want. It's the most straightforward. Straight Story is what I watch. Yeah, if you guys watch, if you like Mulholland Drive, check out Lost Highway. Um, what's the one with Nick Cage in it? Laura Dern. Wild Heart. Wild, Crazy at Heart or something like that. Crazy Heart, something like that. One of those. That was pretty good too. I thought Lost Highway was pretty darn freaky. Pretty good, pretty good. He was dead the whole time. Oh, okay. Have you thought about doing science videos also? No, because the problem with me doing science videos is there is way more competition in the science videos category. We got Michael from Vsauce. We got Veritasium. We got Minute Physics. We got we got the Hank Green and his brother doing the SciShow and all that. They are funded now. I am struggling to make ends meet here. I got to take other jobs, and honestly, my love is film. That's what got me in. I mean, I get into the science of this stuff because I like learning about how stuff works to make film. So I'm always coming at it from a film angle. And yeah, we can do science of all kinds of crazy stuff when it comes to film, but I tend to want to stick to filmmaking topics. I guess that's my niche. Like the science stuff is covered so well by so many others, and like those guys, Veritasium. Who's the gal from Australia? I love her stuff too. But they're actually like scientists, and I'm a business major who just happened to kind of been. I got lucky in college. I learned how to think critically and to like examine things a little more critically than some of the stuff I see on the comment section of my videos. Not commenting on you guys. I'm just saying. I guess just getting this ready today. I was like a little annoyed. Like, man, this commenter is really dumb. He thought that he could get sarcasm across in a comment. What does that tell you? Anyhow, so Wild at Heart. Okay, we're still going back on that. Yeah, Wild at Heart and Lost. Yeah, Lost Highway. Man, I think Mulholland Drive and Lost Highway are my favorite Lynchian films. Those are just so damn good. So dang it. Anyhow, so John, tell a little bit about your education and where you are now. Okay, sure. I think we've discussed this before, but hey, it's May. I'm by myself, and let's just fill up some air here. I was born small black child. Just kidding. You know that reference? Thanks. If you know that reference, you know you're a fan of Filmmaker IQ. Okay, no, I was born in Taiwan. I came to the United States. My dad's American. My mom's Chinese. My dad wanted me to get an American education. Came to the United States when I was 7 years old. Lost all my Chinese. I don't speak Chinese anymore. I don't speak with a Chinese accent. So, but I have a lazy tongue. Anyhow, I knew from an early age I wanted to do business. And I also, around high school, I discovered that I liked making videos and motion pictures. And I made these videos with my friend Joe for the academic decathlon, because I'm a nerd. I know that's shocking. I was a real nerd. I'm still a big nerd. But anyhow, I was part of the academic decathlon, right? And academic decathlon is basically after school. There's that ringer, after school club for nerds. But they do spread out a little bit. So anyhow, I was part of the academic decathlon. I made these videos to go on the morning announcements, just to tell everybody, hey, come join the academic decathlon because we need other students that maybe aren't such big nerds. So I made these movies, and I started making like knockoffs on Titanic. And I can probably say this now because it's been many, many years, but I had the biggest crush on the girl that I had the play Rose in Titanic. I mean, it's sad. Anyhow, so I learned that filmmaking was really fun. And then Joe and I kind of kept making these little short films, and we said, yeah, I'm 18 years old. Dang it, I know enough about this world to make a feature film. And so we tried to make a feature film, and the wheels came off the bus really quickly there. The people you had cast would say, oh, I can't work that day. I can't be in your film that day because my dad wants me to wash the car. because you're 18 and you don't know any better, right? And it was a disaster. It was a disaster. It turned me off filmmaking for a year. I was like, all right, I'm done. I'm going to go back to I'm going to go back to business school and be a businessman, like the way I wanted to be. And so I did that for a year, and then, man, that filmmaking is kind of fun. I want to do some more films, make some more film. Made another academic decathlon year out of high school. Took it back to our old, teachers. Like, hey, check this out. And about my second year in college, I only spent 3 years in college because I got out early because of a good behavior. And my second year, I was like, I'm going to make film my job. I'm going to be a film maybe producer, coming in from the business side, from the marketing side. So I went to an internship, and I got an internship at a cable company making really rinky dinky commercials for local cable. If you remember, you know what those are. Those like, come on down to Joe's Rodeo Crab Shack. It's the Rodeo Crab Shack in the town. And it's like, it's terrible. It's awful. But hey, it's filmmaking, or it's video making, right? So I did that for a year, and I did it as an internship for free. Just wanted to hang out and be part of the crowd. And then one day they brought me in and said, John, thanks for your work, but you don't need to come in anymore because we're shutting down this office. So the guys I was working with, two guys, have been there for like 20 years, just like Thanos' snap, lost their job. Boom. And it taught me, like, shoot, I don't want to work for a corporation that can just turn their backs on someone and just fire you. Like all this loyalty you built up. And they didn't have to close that office. It was like politics, the reason why that office had to close. It wasn't like they were actually busy and making money for the company. So I was like, well, I'm out of college. I got my business degree. I can do accounting. I'm going to start my own business. So I started my own business and did video work for about 5 or 6 years. Through MySpace, met some people, and the people were like, well, we got banned from MySpace, started Filmmaker IQ to do kind of aggregate blog stuff. And then from there, we said, hey, there's something missing in the film education world. There's some videos we should make some videos, and that's where we are today. So I am sorry I went through a long ass description of what I just said. If you have a question, just go ahead and repeat it on the screen because it's way past where I was. So that was the long ass answer I gave about my history and my entertainment, my education, I guess, if you will. All right. So, yeah, the experience is the day is the hardest part of getting filmmaking is getting people to show up. It is true. Money helps. Money helps. If I tell you, hey, I'm going to pay you $500 tomorrow, but you need to be on set at 7 a.m., a good chance you're going to get more people to show up for that. But, like, I'll just be honest. Let's talk about our last short film that we shot, Out of Sync. I went through 2 lead actresses because they were, at least they told me. At least they told me, hey, I casted them like, oh, great. I can't make it. Okay, ask the second one. I love to. Like a couple days later, sorry, something came up, I can't do it. And then we got Giselle, who was absolutely fabulous and wonderful and so good that I thought she was annoyed with me, but she was just acting. She was like, no, I love it was such a great fun shoot. So yeah, getting people to show up, and I was paying people a whopping $20 for gas money on that one, and I was giving them a pretty good meal. And I think we had a great time doing it. But don't knock Joe; he puts on a good rodeo. Okay. Well, making a film is work. Getting people to show up usually requires giving them money. Don't know if you talked about it before, but I'd be interested in hearing your take on the Criterion Channel. I don't really have an opinion on the Criterion Channel. Regarding film is work, yeah, that's the fun. The thing I can do with shorts, at least, is shorts can be kind of like a party atmosphere, or at least a party. If you try to make a feature with no money and people aren't getting paid for a feature, oh my gosh, it's even harder. It's just hard. It can be a grind because you're just day after day, and people can pull it off. It can be done over weekends and stuff like that. You can take a lot of time off. Anyhow. Don't know if you talked about it before, but I'm interested in, okay, you talked about the cartoon. What high school did you guys go to? Kate Winslet is hot. True on both counts. Now, if I tell you my high school, then you'll know one of my password hints. I went to high school in Temecula, so you can guess that. But yeah, that's kind of the whole thing. Can anyone use YouTube Studios? LaCroix. It's it's the grapefruit LaCroix. It tastes like a grapefruit if the grapefruit was in the other room and dried out. No, just kidding. All right. Can anybody use the white YouTube Studios? Yes. You can go to YouTube Studios. I think anybody can for their events. They have events every week there. They're doing something. If you have 10,000 subscribers or more, you can book, I think, 1 day per month at the YouTube Studios. And if you have 100,000 like we do, you can do 3 days a month, I believe. And then if you get 1 million, you get like unlimited access or whatever. So yeah, I think anybody can go to the YouTube Studios. They might have changed that since I like signed up for it. Luckily, we have 300,000 climbing. Yay, yay! Although, to be honest with all you guys that are watching here, and you can tell by the chat because the chat's not going crazy. There's not like a bunch of racial slurs flying past, so we're not that popular. Let's be all honest here. I mean, we're still kind of small time. Most of our 300,000 subscribers go like way back. So there's probably like, I think a good 80% of our subscribership is like, may not even have an account anymore or may not even check their account. So we're like, most of those are what we call legacy folks, I guess. Legacy people that signed up like years ago but haven't really been around since. So I would like the link for the Canon profile. Oh, I guess somebody put a Canon profile. Yeah, somebody put a link earlier and I can't approve the links. So sorry about that. Did you go to school in California? Yes, I did. I've lived here for 30 some years. Hello, darkness, my old friend. Sorry, what? Yeah, it's been a while since I've lived here. Yeah, been here for 30 years, and I grew up here, and I went to school in Riverside, and yeah, that is me. Did I build the set behind me? Yes, I did. That's why if you saw it in real life, you'd think it's crap. It's not the. I mean, I go to these professional places and I'm like, wow, that's really nice. I look at mine and I'm like, ooh, I'm not that good yet. I'm still not good at building stuff yet. So, what do you think of the Monty Python films? It's the 40th anniversary of the life of Brian. I liked most of the Monty Python films. Although there's a weird thing with Monty Python. And I'm going to go, I guess, I don't want to fling shade on things. People enjoy it, but it just feels like, I mean, I'm just going to level with you. Like, so my experience seeing Spam-A-Lot with Joe about 4 years ago, I felt like when you're watching Spam-A-Lot on a stage, like a musical production of Spam-A-Lot, it feels like we're just going through the motions. It doesn't feel like it's funny or fresh. It feels like it's like a band who perfectly plays Bohemian Rhapsody. You're like, that's great, that's awesome, but it doesn't feel authentic. It doesn't feel, or someone that covers Bohemian Rhapsody, it's slightly different. It's not the original. It just feels. That's the way I feel about some of these comedy sketches. They're so well known. Everyone knows this parrot sketch. It's lost kind of the edge of it. I don't know. So I love going back and watching the original stuff. The original Monty Pythons are amazing. I feel like people when Monty Python does it live now, it's like, it's move on. Do something fresh. Anyhow, that's me. Still think they're great. What would you warn young filmmakers like myself coming into the industry today? It's a dead parrot. Good question. So, here's the truth about filmmaking is if you don't really love it, if you don't love films, don't get into filmmaking. I don't know. That's one of the things we could talk about this forever because I haven't thought about it that much. But Under the Silver Lake, I should check that one out. But yeah, I don't know, the last couple years doing Filmmaker IQ, it's been rough because it's just been like there's it's just we just haven't been able to put any money together. It's just they've been scrounging everything. Everything's been scrounging. Things are starting to kind of pick up a little bit outside of Filmmaker, which is I can afford to kind of keep doing this and maintain some form of sanity. But man, there's a lot of points into life that uh, I look at Filmmaking. I'm like, do I want to still do this? Is this really what I want to do? And I think part of that's also if you start thinking that perhaps you're going in a direction that's not conducive to what you want to do as a filmmaker. I don't know. It's that's advice to give to filmmakers is so specific to the actual filmmakers. Again, not again, but for the first time, no two filmmakers' careers have the same path. So like what I did to get here is not something you can do to get to the equivalent of where I am now, whatever that is. I mean honestly, I'm just a schlub trying to make it through, right? Um, but I couldn't tell you to join internet film forums and go on MySpace and talk to people about filmmaking, and then go make a video about 24 frames a second. People gonna bitch about you forever. You know that's not gonna work for you. Everyone has to their own way of doing this, their own way of navigating into this thing. So, um, if you don't love it, don't do it. That's the first thing, and it's gonna be rough. It's gonna be really, really, really rough. When I look at like sometimes I go on like Facebook. There's a lot of filmmaking forums, and I see a lot of like young enthusiasm. I'm like, that's great. You're gonna fail, and you're not gonna. People are like, people are like getting really. They're asking questions like, well, if I put my film in a small theatrical release, do you think that it will look worse on an IMAX screen than on a regular 2K projection? It's like, are you serious? That's what you're worried about is your film not looking good on an IMAX projection? Are you effing serious? Your film is never going to get a small theatrical release. If you did, count your blessings because hell, I don't care if I got a small theatrical release. Show it in black and white. No, I mean, yeah, I want them to show it the right way, but I'm not going to be worried about it not looking right on an IMAX theater, stuff like that. I don't know. I'm showing my true colors. I'm showing how much of a jerk I am. Right? It's just like there's a lot of young enthusiasm, naivete, obviously. Um, you know, a lot like we're as kids. You know, I'm gonna start a YouTube channel, make millions of dollars. Like not after adpocalypse, are you gonna? But yeah, naivete is nothing. Okay, here's since the chat's a little slow, but here it is. You gotta fight for your own projects. You gotta realize that everybody in this industry has their own story and their own film that they all want passionately to make. And I think your job is to try to be the champion for your own movie and realize. I think this is the key. Realize that everybody else has motivations and they all have their own desires and wants. So you can't. There's a thing reminding me to replace the batter. You can't think in terms of single steps. You can't play checkers. You want to play chess. And I think so much of what I see out there is people playing bad checkers. I'll put it that way. I don't know. We can try and get more into that a little more. That's good life advice. I hope so. My cousin went to Norta Vista High School and she graduated in 1992. That's younger than we. That's much older than we are. So are no longer Betty, but you aren't quite Diane yet. Yeah, that hits that hits home right there. Yeah, we're not quite. I'm not quite Betty. That's yeah. I need to like take a sip of my slightly flavored carbonated beverage in order to meditate on that connection. Yeah. Although my favorite part of that film is the cowboy scene. I love that cowboy scene. I just love the way the cowboy talks down the director. That's so awesome. Yeah, loving it is number one. Number two is the ability to make big money. Well, make at least make decent money. You know, the thing is also a lot of times it's a lot of times success is really just a matter of numbers, and it's like the longer you play the game, the more likely you are to win at least a few big cash prizes, and then take those cash prizes to leverage some more ways to play the game and leverage some more cash prizes. Again, there's people out there. I read like an article by somebody who like got an Oscar, and it was like worked on some Oscar films, and just like, I'm kind of done with it, and just put it away. You know, I wish I could hit that kind of jackpot and be like, I don't really like making movies anymore. I'm gonna do something else. Some people just have luck, and luck is a big, 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 big part of it. Don't ever think otherwise. It's silly to think that luck isn't part of it. Love making short films. It's a hobby for me, no money whatsoever, just pure enjoyment with friends who became actors. Yeah, I love that too. I mean, unfortunately, I can't really pay my actors because there's not much money in it for doing the fictional short films. We do documentaries. I do a lot of like corporate stuff. And that's a case where sometimes if I get lucky and the client says, I need an actor. Well, I got an actress to pick from. I'll give his people a call. I'll give you some of these options. That's, that makes me happy. But yeah, unfortunately, the way it is, I can't produce the money to pay a bunch of actors. That's the way it is. Okay, so I'll tell you what else is going on in my life. I am in the middle of a run. I just finished up Tech Week for Man of La Mancha, Don Quixote. Story of Don Quixote, I think written in 1950. Started off as a teleplay for CBS, I believe, and and then they said, "Hey, let's shop it for Broadway. Let's put some music to it." And then they made Man of La Mancha. I play trumpet and French horn in the show. It's a 6-piece orchestra down in Oceanside, California. So if you're coming down to Oceanside, check out Man of La Mancha, playing for the next 4 weekends. But yeah, I've been doing that, and it's fun to visit the theater world every once in a while. I've got to be careful how much there's a big time sink, which is why we're doing this on Thursday, because tomorrow I'm doing I'm doing opening night. But I think I'm not sure the actors are getting paid. Maybe the leads are, but community theater is such a big involvement, and actors, I think, for the most part, do it for free, and that's mind-boggling. I mean, you're talking like weeks every day rehearsing, and it becomes kind of a social club in a way, and that can be unfortunate, because then it becomes like, oh, I'm not going to practice, I'm not going to rehearse, I'm not going to practice my part at home. I'm just going to show up to rehearsal and practice there, and just enjoy the people's company. So you lose the professionalism if it becomes a social club. Then it's no longer about like, hey, dude, like learn your lines. Hey, dude, you're off pitch. It becomes less professional, which in many ways bothers me. I'm going to go into it. I'll go into a long, not long. I need not a whole long diatribe on a person that like I told the person like, hey, you're blowing really out of tune there. And he's like, man, you're the most negative Nelly guy. I'm like, no, dude, you're out of tune. And I may not have only been playing this instrument for like 3-4 years. You're out of tune. And I'm out of tune too, but you're also out of tune. We're both out of tune. But yeah, check it out. Yeah. How do you learn the craft of filmmaking? That's all. You can watch this channel and see if you pick apart what you can. I am a big advocate of people going out and doing and learning yourself. That's how I learned it. I made all the mistakes. I go out there and I try stuff, and it works or it doesn't work. The trick with mistakes is never make a mistake so big that you can't make another one. It's like if you're shooting, go out and shooting a gun or something like that. Don't ever shoot something where you can no longer shoot another gun. That doesn't make sense. Don't make a mistake so big that it costs you everything and you cannot make any more mistakes, because that's how you end your career. So don't do that. Don't like go pull a fast one like, okay, I'm going to make my first film. I'm going to spend $35,000 with credit cards. Oh, I'm going to max out my credit cards, make my first film. Yeah. That's a bad idea. That's a terrible idea because your first film's probably going to suck. You know, at least make a bunch of shorts, and then you got something that you can kind of line up. There is a time and place for the big money bet, but it's like walking into a casino and not knowing anything what's going on. Walking to the first hand of blackjack, all in. Sure, you might win, but hell, you've got a better chance playing blackjack, making your money back, than you do making a film. You have a much better chance. Anyhow, all right, back to W. Clark. He's saying he was dead all the whole time. That's wonderful, Clark. It's cute. Do you think it's easier to get your film noticed with all the available platforms to share it on, harder due to the oversaturation of films by aspiring filmmakers? I really think so. I think we're in a really tough time for short films. It is both easier to get to the audience, but it also incredibly harder because there's so much stuff out there. I know I was reading some stuff on the Frugal Filmmaker. This one guy was talking about how you can make money making short films, and I don't know. I have a tendency to kind of think that people that I read, I tend to think that people that write stuff on the internet are telling either the truth or not exaggerate or like are soberly representing the reality of the world. However, that's a very bad habit of mine because I can look at the comments in some of my videos and I'm like, this guy just doesn't know what he's talking about, you know? So I don't know. I do believe that the sheer amount of films out there is troubling for a new filmmaker. However, the fact that I'm talking to you guys and there's a few folks here that are regulars, and then we can sit together and have a good time and chat. It means I'm being able to reach out to somebody. So there's a little bit of there's the ability to reach out to people. It's never been better. So on that side, it's good. But yeah, even among like Hollywood, even among like big productions, it is so cluttered. I go on Netflix and HBO and Showtime. Yeah, I don't know Showtime. I have Stars, and I'm like, what do I want to watch? I don't want to watch any of this. And there's just so many films, and there's millions, billions of dollars I'm looking at, and like, billions of dollars trying to get my attention, and I'm having a hard time with that. Of course, I work too many damn hours. I'm tired, damn it. I want to go to sleep. Actually, I'm addicted right now. I'm not a big gamer, but that dang Factorio. Have you guys seen this game? Oh, that thing is addictive. I just get on that. I keep like restarting, thinking, this time I'm going to build a better factory. Oh, that game is so freaking addictive. Anyhow, all right. Have you ever had it? Oh, let's see. Here we go. I've been working in the video business since I was 1988 and love it. Oh, that's wonderful. I'm glad to make that work. Yeah, you know, when it's good, that's really good. When it's like when I'm actually working and like have something to do, and it's good. When I'm worrying like how am I going to pay my bills, not so good. The CRLS reflection lighting technique, the Light Bridge has made these really cool reflectors. It's really intriguing in practical way. Oh, I'll have to check that out. I've never even heard of that. Reflecting lighting technology. Cool. Have to leave the cast and spend some time with the wife, but glad I got to tune in. Hey, all right, thanks, David. Enjoy your wife. You trying to brag? No, the other joke is, you guys spend time with your wife? That's so gay. I know we're not supposed to say that, right? That's so gay that you want to spend time with your wife. So gay. Sorry. I don't mean to be offensive. If you really want to complain, you can write my boss at johnfilmmakeriq.com. I just gave away my address. Ugh. I made it 51 minutes late. Hey, Sprinkled Donut, welcome back. Always good to see you in here. Craig Costa, does the internet ever lie? Never. Never at all. What's your opinion on comedies? I love them. I love them almost as much as I love tragedies. In fact, I love them both. What do you think? Some screenwriting competitions, are they worth time and money? I don't know. I know my friend John, I can't think of his name. He runs his, shoot, I shouldn't even mention stuff I don't even know. He runs, I think, screenwriters, one of the script writing contests. And I know that's legit. I wish I could spend more time doing screenwriting, I'm not a big screenwriter. Like, I don't follow the screenwriting industry because I'm a filmmaker, not a screenwriter. There's a difference, even though I do write my own scripts, and I do have, obviously have some flavor in what I write. But I think screenwriting as an industry itself, as a cottage industry, is very different than filmmaking, because screenwriter can sit in his room and just create a script and have a product. Filmmaker cannot do that. I take a script and I make a product, right? What happens though with screenwriting is you create a lot of people that are dreamers, and I'm going to be harsh. A lot of people that think they are big screenwriters that don't really know what they're doing, and they can kind of fall into this like endless feedback loop where they're like, I'm going to make a script for this, I'm going to enter this contest, and maybe the contest goes well, but nothing ever comes from it because it's just like it's not really producing anything. So some screenwriting contests absolutely worth it. Like, Sundance is probably a great one. But yeah, I'm not. There's a whole cottage industry of screenwriters. Some of it bothers me because it's so so ingrained and so kind of like feeding hopes into people that might not. I don't know. I haven't. I don't want. I'm not here to cause trouble, and I'm not here to I'm not here to point the fingers at people. But that's my thought. That's my thoughts. There you go. I should learn how to end my thoughts. Is entertainment a wasted time, or should humans be more productive, like Elon Musk? You mean smoking weed with Joe Rogan? Oh, okay. So I'm in Man of La Mancha, and that by Miguel de Cervantes, right? Don Quixote. Don Quixote spends his entire day reading about knights of chivalry and romantic love. He reads so much fiction, his brain goes haywire, and he calls himself Alonso de Quijana. Spoiler alert: you had 400 years to read this dang book, so don't worry, don't complain about spoilers. Alonso de Quijana, who goes by the name of Don Quixote, and he convinces everybody to come join him on this fantastic voyage through travels around Spain. This is 300 years after the last knights. Okay, this 300 years. There's no castles left. There's no knights. Here's this guy galloping around. So and the whole point of the play is, yeah, life sucks sometimes, man. And if you look at life and you say, geez, is there no point to this miserable existence? All there is crap, and we're just feeding crap upon crap and crap and crap and crap, right? It's horrible. But Don Quixote brings a little joy and hope into people's lives and makes it something worth thinking about. Something with life a little more less drudgery, less terrible. We have it so good in 2019 where we're not dying of scurvy or measles, and we don't realize that life is hard. Excuse me, I need to take a drink. That's what entertainment's for. Is to reaffirm. People diss on them. There's that ringer. People diss on the Marvel movies. I get this a lot from the superhero movies. Oh, superhero Marvel's a bunch of trash. I get people saying that Marvel's putting out this Ayn Rand kind of horrible objective, worshiping the rich people and screw the rest of. No, man. The reason why you have all these the reason why Endgame makes $1 billion at the box office is because at the core of a lot of Marvel comics and a lot of Marvel stories is, man, you gotta fight for the small guy. You gotta be good to each other. Like Captain America doesn't freaking go around bullying everybody. Captain America represents best what I think of as the American spirit is of generosity, charity, and just being helpful. Not the kind of jaded look at American politics or whatever. I'm not gonna get in politics. I don't like getting in politics. But anyhow, At the heart of Marvel's story is a reflection of who we want to be as a society, as a culture, to say, hey, we're gonna beat up the bad guys, but we're still gonna try to be good to each other and all that. There's a lot of that inside Marvel. That's what it reflects in entertainment. Again, you're going back to what's if you want to learn about a culture, you look at the stories that the culture tells itself. So long ass explanation for that one question, which I'm not even sure was really serious. So anyhow, let's go back to the comment section. Hey, what are some tips to develop an idea into a story? Good question. Good question. Ideas are I used to say ideas are worthless. I don't say that anymore because ideas are not worthless, but they're pretty cheap. Like, people say, I've got a great idea for a movie. No, you don't. You have a premise. You don't have a story yet. And I've got a lot of premises. Believe me, I can sit down and tell you premise after premise, but I haven't sat down and developed a story. Part of it is to just sit down and write it down. I mean, there's a quote I have from a book. It says, imagination does not drive the hand. Imagination does not drive the hand to create, but the hand drives the imagination. You create, and then all of a sudden you're imagining new. You're being more creative. So if you sit down and do, the creativity will flow. That's what the problem. I think a lot of problems people have with writer's block is they don't know where to start. Start and write. And sometimes what you just got to do is just write gibberish for a little bit. Just get the juices going, and then edit out the crap, and you take out. And let's face it, writing is all editing. So that's a tip. Get started. Sprinkle Donut says, thanks for the story. You're welcome, bro. All right, what's your opinion on rising popularity of video essays analyzing movies on YouTube? You want me to get in trouble, don't you? I got a lot of opinions on that one. All right. Melik Headley, you're gonna, well, let's face it, no one watches these pubcasts. I get like 800 views, but man. John, say something about Captain Marvel too. Oh boy. We're gonna just gonna hold me up for the arrows there. All right. First on Captain Marvel, we talked about it in the last pubcast. It's okay. One of Marvel's lesser movies. Probably I haven't seen The Incredible Hulk, so maybe worst Marvel movie, Captain Marvel. Didn't develop the character. I'm not sure Alison Brie brings a lot to the character. There's nothing. And then she's just. I know this is cliche, but every time she speaks, she's pissing off everybody who's not totally pro. Yeah, rah feminism. And to kind of show you, I think look at like what they did with Captain Marvel in the Marvel universe. She is kind of like probably one of the most powerful units, but no development. And then look at Arya Stark from Game of Thrones, and people are like, well, she just came out of nowhere. Have you been watching? She's been beaten up and dragged through all kinds of crap. We've been following Arya forever, and then when she has that moment in the last episode, it's like, yeah, that's just me. So yeah, Captain Marvel. The one who really won in that Captain Marvel war was Shazam. Shazam was awesome. Shazam was what Marvel. Well, no, Shazam has no Marvel equivalency. It's fresh, it's fun, it's cute, it's funny, it's just it's fun. I think Shazam. Yeah, Write Drunk, Edit Sober, Ernest Hemingway. Thanks for sharing. Oh, thanks for Joey Sharp. Thanks for sharing film history with us. All right, I dodged your bullet, Malik, for long enough. Headley, what do I think about popular YouTube video essays? I'm gonna get in trouble. I think we talked about it last time. Maybe. So, for a little bit of history, I did not start the video essay. Thank you for thinking that I did. No, obviously I didn't. Tony Zhao really kind of, I think, developed the genre of the video essay. And some of his essays are unquestionably top-notch. Okay? Absolutely top-notch. The problem is he was so good at finding the clever way of deducing the detail or deducing an interesting story and inducing concept that was very accessible to the general movie audience and general filmmaking audience, or not filmmaking, but just general movie fandom, that people expected him to perform that magic trick every single time. And it's not possible because there are only so many, wow, that's amazing kind of moments. I did not see that moment. Or so he started kind of going into more and more ways of convincing you of something by using bad, well, not bad logic, but clever, persuasive arguments. Like there's a video out there he made, and I have very hard criticism on this one. It's the quadrant system from Drive. He took a frame of Drive and broke it down into quadrants, right down the center, right here, and then right across this part. And he said, like, watch what the director does with this quadrant and then this quadrant. It's like, no, that's just commonplace composition. But he does it with a charming voice, a well-written script, clever music, clever editing, and he convinces you that you're seeing something that is remarkable and different and, insight into filmmaking. When no, it's just, there's nothing. It's like the Emperor's new clothes. The Emperor's naked, folks. Like you tell me you can give me a whole cock and bull story about how this, and then realize that director is obsessant about things, but no, that scene is not the quadrant because no, it's just like, no, just basic rules of thirds, basic fact that people have their faces in the top third of the shot. No, that's not the quadrant issue. And then I think the last excuse me, my coughing is getting on me. The last thing that Tony Zhao, one of the last things that Tony Zhao made, I think kind of put it over the edge, is like realize this is not right. He made this thing about Marvel. He said, he went and like interviewed a bunch of, hey, hum a few bars from Indiana Jones, hum a few bars from so and so. People would watch this video get copyright strike. But they said, okay, now hum a few bars from Avengers, and people were like, I don't know Avengers. And it's like, yes, I showed you. Avengers don't have good music. And it's like, well, yeah, you're right. Avengers don't have, I can't think of it. And then somebody in the comment section wrote, no, but the Avengers have a great theme song. And then you go look up Avengers theme song, and you're like, dude, yeah, that dun bum bum ba-dum bum ba-dum bum. It's like, no, Avengers has a great theme song too. So it's like, and then after that, I think what he just kind of gave up doing it because I think the pressure on him to deliver was maybe not in line. Because I think he's a very, very smart guy. I think maybe he was saying, well, geez, I'm not. The way I see it was the public, I think, wanted something from him that I don't think he was comfortable making. Now, that mantle has been picked up by a million other YouTubers. All right, there's a lot of other video YouTubers that are making video essays who are just selling you wholesale crap. Garbage. All right, total garbage. I really hate film essayists who talk about the act of filmmaking, who have no idea how films actually get made, because that's a real problem. To say, like, and I had it out on this comment section on the Nerd Writers video about how Hitchcock blocks a scene, and he was talking about how his story, and I was like, no, Hitchcock does not storyboard everything. In fact, there are people that have done the research. He did not. There's a famous storyboard of the North by Northwest crop duster scene, and the fact is, they showed up on the location to shoot that crop duster scene. They had no idea how they were going to shoot it. Hitchcock didn't have any idea how he was going to shoot it. They showed up and they improvised and they figured out how to shoot this thing. And that storyboard that you see, that was made by marketing after the scene was already shot and edited and it was put together. That's why it looks almost identical, because storyboards, people kind of get way too hung up on storyboards. Storyboards are not a product. Young filmmakers spend hours drawing storyboards, right? It's like, no, that's not how filmmaking works. Storyboard conveys what you're trying to do, okay? And then you get on set and you look at the shot and you look at the blocking and you try to work it out, and then you throw the storyboards away because they don't matter anymore. What matters is what you can get on film, what you can get in your memory cards, right? That's the only thing that matters. Storyboards are worthless, right? They really are. Their point of a storyboard is just like a script. It's to convey the idea of what you're trying to do. And then once you have that done, storyboard matters not. Okay? So anyhow, I got into it with people because people think that Hitchcock needed to storyboard a dialogue scene. Hitchcock when he made North by Northwest, he was like 16 films in. He's made television shows. He knows how to block a freaking dialogue scene. He doesn't need to storyboard this crap. He may have had some ideas, and then blocking itself, Hitchcock probably is like, okay, you're here, the camera guy, you make a medium shot, okay, go. And then the actors do their thing. And then Hitchcock says, I didn't like what they did there. Do it again, more feeling, whatever it is. Filmmaking is a collaboration. And it requires a lot of, I know I'm talking over, I'm going crazy about this. You got me started on filmmaking. Anyhow, filmmaking is a collaboration amongst a lot of different folks. And I hate this notion of the kind of the auteur theory, like taken to the nth degree, or auteur theory applied to like Hollywood or non-auteur films. It's like, no, Hitchcock is a singular vision, yes, but he has actors around him. He has technicians around him that all contribute. And yes, Hitchcock will say, no, I don't like that. I like that. No, I don't like that. Or Ridley Scott is another example. Ridley Scott is a fantastic artist, but I'm sure he brings in people to come up with ideas for his script. Directors, our job is to cull all these ideas together and make something that works. And some directors do it where they're much more a master and commander, and some directors are much more of a collaborator. It runs the gamut, but I hate this notion of video essayists going on about, oh, did you see the way that the so-and-so actor raises his pinky when he takes a sip of that delicious LaCroix? That signifies that he is, in fact, holding nothing. No. I had this one video essay talking about how the use of red and blue light together was a transgender transsexualism or bisexual coloring, saying that blue and red lighting together meant bisexual lighting. So is John Wick really bisexual? What the fuck are you smoking? Good God. The blue and red lighting means transsexual in Hollywood films. I pulled out Dodgeball. The movie Dodgeball has red and blue lighting when they're in the bar because there's a Bud Light sign behind there that's red and blue. That's freaking bisexual lighting? Oh my God, you got to be kidding me. So, all right. That is way too much on that one question. And you've gotten to know what I feel about bisexual lighting in filmmaking. What kind of movie? There's that bell. What kind of movie would you make with $200 million budget? Well, $200 million would probably have to be an epic. Because you're not going to spend $200 million on any ideas that I have for films. My ideas will only stretch to about probably $10 to $65 million if I had like total studio money, because my ideas are way too small. And there's my friend Joe. Check him out. Wrong cast. Hey buddy, what's your there? Welcome to the party. We're not just getting started. Oh my God, it's sorry. Well, we'll go on for a little bit longer. But yeah. So $200 million would have to be like a huge epic. Maybe something like in terms of like I don't want to remake Ben-Hur. You know what I'd like to make? I'd like to make a good RoboCop reboot. Because RoboCop needs to be rebooted properly. Because look, let's face it, we have the whole issue of dealing with cybernetics and politics and the cybernetics of security, drones, surveillance. That's all ripe stuff since 9/11, 2001, right? That's all ripe stuff for content. And the last RoboCop movie didn't realize that, hey, RoboCop's not just a freaking cool ass character. He's social commentary. Oh, I didn't. Did I watch it? I think I did watch it on what do you call it? Streaming. I like Deep Focus's reviews myself. Agree with most. Oh, Deep Focus Lens, cool. Yeah, there's some. Look, there's some people out there that are doing good essayists. Good essay. I like Patrick H. Willems. Check out his video defending Star Wars Last Jedi, because yay me, last Corgi, yay. Anyhow, I like him. He's trying to make some fun videos, just aping on different styles. They got some good ones on Mission Impossible. I think the best video essayists are the ones that take the time, do the research, get into it, and then don't make incredibly bizarre logic leaps like red and blue light mean bisexual characters are on screen. That's, in some cases, maybe they do. But to say it like a blanket is so stupid on the surface level. So ridiculously stupid. So yeah, Lindsay Ellis is another good one that does a lot of in-depth studies. She does more social takes on things. If you're not like a hardcore feminist, if SJW is something that really pisses you off, you might not like her. If you can just tap down that rage, listen to the other side. I think Lindsay Ellis is probably the most reasonable voice, on that era. Change the topic. Do you think you should do video going through in-depth on display calibration? I wish I could do. Yeah, I would love to do a display calibration, but I do need to get people involved with that actually know what they're doing, because I don't. And I need to calibrate a lot of monitors around here. Hey, Alrimp, Anumpum Creations. Would you make a Star Wars film? Yes. If Kathleen Kennedy came to me and said, John, I need someone to take the bullet. I need someone to crucify. I mean, direct the next Star Wars film. Would you do it? I mean, like, are you kidding me? Yeah, I'd do it, because I don't care. I mean, even so, what's the worst thing that can happen? Now, yeah, I would. But it's like, also, if it's like if Scarlett Johansson came to me and said, John, I want you to be my lover, but I do want to tell you, you will die 5 hours afterward. Will you accept? He said, yes, of course. I'm sorry. I'm not gonna say no to Scarlett Johansson. No way. But we can all know in comfort that those things will never happen. So I can say that. I can say, of course, never. So yeah, I can say, of course, I would do a Star Wars movie, because I know no one would ever offer that to me, ever, ever at all. Dread 2, yeah, Dread is another concept. A lot of these concepts that were kind of like some of these, maybe even Hellboy, because I saw some bad things about Hellboy, and it's just not very good. Maybe it's maybe the reboot is not understanding what makes the core concept interesting. I don't know. All right. Would you, John? Would you make other people's short script? Yes, I would. But I'll give you a very, very insider secret. I would rewrite your script. If you handed me a script and I loved the idea and I made a deal with you, I would rewrite it. There's no question about it. In fact, the honest truth is that happens on everything. There's hardly a script out there that makes it to the. There was more in the old days. I think maybe in the old days when directors weren't as powerful or didn't have as much power as they used to, that a script shooting script would never resemble the spec script that the writer produces. So Yeah, if you got a great idea and you want me to shoot it and you send it to me and I think it's fantastic and I make a deal, say, hey, I will shoot this, but let you know, I'm going to rewrite this thing and I'll write the way I want, the way I feel like it should be written. Oh, yes. That's a horrible answer, John. I'm just shitting on people's dreams. I love it. Wonderful. John, horrible person. What a terrible guy. George Rockwell Schmidt did a whole essay on how the RoboCop movie changed and made the point that the originals have a large element of satire. Yes, yes. So there's a video essayist that gets it. Yeah, there's so much satire in the original one. I'm sorry, I'm banging the table. You're probably getting a big bassy thing, but yeah, there is so much satire in the original one, and that's the thing with Verhoeven. That is the director, right? I'm not just making shit up, right? Verhoeven puts so much satire in his movies. Now, I came to age, I was about 16 when Showgirls came out. And when you're 16 and Showgirls comes out, and the one theater in your town that showed Showgirls had people outside picketing, we shall not let this pornography, you know, as a 16-year-old kid, like, yeah, God, I want to see that movie, right? So my dad had a tape, like a VHS tape of Showgirls, like a year later, and it's like, oh yeah, we get to watch Showgirls. Probably Joe's sleepover. That's back in the day when like dial-up modems, and we're like, oh man, like my friend Gavin, who's probably in jail now because of hacking issues. But he's like, yeah, I downloaded porn at John's house, right? And like, back then when downloading porn was like downloading Cindy Crawford topless from some European magazine. Like, yeah, that's awesome. So you're 16 years old, hot on hormones, and you're like, I get to watch Showgirls. And you're watching like, this is kind of disgusting and dirty and like awful. Like, this is not sexy at all. There's like nothing at all sexy about this movie. And I think maybe I need to revisit that movie because I think there's a lot of satire in there that just whoosh, over the 16-year-old old kid in me. Yeah. Oh, we're really getting to John Psyche here when he's talking about Showgirls. Oh my goodness. All right. I love RoboCop and Starship Troopers. Yeah, Starship Troopers is another thing that went over my head too. When I was first watching, I was like, I don't get this. It's got Denise Richards naked in it. Yay, that's exciting. Or no, she's not. No, she's not in that movie. I all right, feminists, just hate me for saying this shit. All right, I'm so bad. That's Wild Things. Check out Wild Things. Wild Things is a great movie on top of the nudity aspect, but Wild Things is a fantastic movie. I mean, it is just it's trashy. It's trashy as hell, but it's entertaining. It's really entertaining. All right, am I the only one who missed the ninja movies of old? I don't know. I don't think so. Obviously, they're making a comeback. Ninjas are due for a comeback, but after a year or two, you'll be eager for them to disappear. Yeah. Martial arts movies, I don't know. We have Cobra Kai on YouTube you can watch. Yeah, Wild Thing was to watch. Well, yeah. Look, my parents are very, very, very like. My parents are conservative in a way, but they're also like, yeah, watch it. It's okay. I've watched Wild Things with my dad. My dad's probably just as big a perv as I am, so whatever. I don't fall far. I don't fall far from the tree. Just reach, pray for death with Shong Sung. All right, cool. Um, yeah, coming from a Chinese background, I got a lot of old Chinese movies. Three Ninjas, Joe says. Yeah, Three Ninjas. Hey, you know what I haven't done? I haven't pushed the patreon.com/filmmakeriq. Get that out of the way. Teespring. You want a t-shirt? Grab yourself a t-shirt at teespring.com/store/filmmakeriq. Living life 24 frames a second. That's out there. And of course, check out filmmakeriq.com. Filmmakeriq.com. I've been so busy, I haven't been tweeting out the dailies, but our friend doing a fantastic job over there making dailies for you guys. Great. Every day is an interesting story about interesting story, short read about what's going on that day. Yeah. Martial arts and buddy cop movies of the 80s. And put them together, and you have Samurai Cop. I'm sure I haven't seen Samurai Cop. There's the Red Letter Media has Space Cop, so there's that. Yeah. Uh, Cop movies, it's like that when that Sonic the Hedgehog trailer came out and I watched it, and you're like, man, this feels so much like a 90s movie. It's just like Jim Carrey mucking it up on screen and a video game movie that doesn't really resemble the video game. So, anyhow. So, yeah. Any more questions? Any more topics you want to talk about? We to ramble on about? We'll go ahead and put them in chat. I'm getting kind of tired. It's getting late. Best film of 19. The ones I've seen so far. Let's see. I'm tempted to say Endgame, but I'm not. But it's also one of the most recent ones I've seen so far. So, I think I might give it to Endgame for now, just for the satisfying ending of the story, and the fact that I haven't seen a whole. Shazam versus Endgame. Endgame just has a bigger. I think I more thoroughly enjoyed Shazam as a breath of fresh air. But as far as Endgame is concerned, I feel like Endgame was it's two apples and oranges to compare those two movies because they're just not the same. Shazam! Joe and I have this idea of a character named that tries to sell Shazam. Oh my gosh! It tried to retract your comment. Oh, you retracted. Shazam! The Dracula movie sort of got wasted down to the Y14 TV franchises. You foresee the return of the characters. That's the charismatic gentleman role of Dracula in the horror film. like every horror cycle, we go through cycles. Oh, you spelled it wrong. I thought you were trying to say Shazam. But yeah, we go through horror cycles. So you had Dracula was cool for a while, and then you had what's that movie? Chronicle with Tom Cruise in it, the vampire movie, Diary of a Vampire. I don't remember that movie. So then vampires were sexy for a while, and then vampires became stuff of girly teen fantasizing about with Twilight. So we went through that whole phase. So yeah, why not? Eventually, somebody will come along and make Dracula, but it'll be Dracula with a sexy man. All right, Hombre de California Interview. That's the movie, right? Interview with the Vampire. Yeah, that's the one I'm thinking of. Yeah, I don't think there's an interview one that came out. We're gonna get a production question now. Is the G85 Panasonic a good camera for making a documentary style movie with some acting, or should I spring with the GH5? I don't know the G85 that well. Honestly, documentary style movie, I would. Does that camera shoot long more than 15-minute takes? That's a big problem. Also, with documentary, I kind of feel like I'm an old schooler. I think you're better served with a real video camera, not a DSLR style camera. I know the Panasonic's kind of made that bridge between the two, but I feel like you're better served with I know it costs a lot more money, but like a C100 or C200, C300 is pretty darn expensive, but or Ursa Mini Pro, those kind of cameras I think are better suited for work. I'm very reticent for suggesting people shoot with DSLR style cameras. I just don't like them. But I understand that that's how people get into filmmaking. So yeah, I think you should start. There's that button. Start there. That's fine, but I think there's the Panasonic EVA might be a good choice too. But again, they're a lot more money. They are a lot more expensive. I feel like those are just better cameras for filmmaking. If you're asking me which is better, I guess I'll say that. If all you have is a G85 or the GH5, if that's all you can afford, by all means do that. But I don't like making those statements. Which is better for that kind of level of filmmaking? Welcome back, Trevor. When we will swing back. Oh, that's why I'm wondering when we'll swing back. We always swing back. Everything swings. Everything is a cycle. Ashes to ashes, dust to dust. Sexy Dracula to sexy Dracula. we'll be back to Sexy Dracula eventually. Wow, hate to leave on that note. I don't think I will. Let's take a few more questions. We'll go a few more minutes and talk about High 8 is better than DSLR. No, it's not. I'll give you that. Don't shoot High 8. High 8. I was done with High 8 back in the old days. Back when I first started, High 8 was like, you Digi-8, mother. The scene from another great David Lynch film. We were talking about David Lynch. Another great David Lynch film, Blue Velvet. It's like, Heineken, fuck that shit. Black Pabst Blue Ribbon. But it's like, High 8, fuck that shit. DG-8. Wow. My humor is like, I heard Daniel Tosh describe it this way. My humor is the point where no one in the room gets it. But that one person that gets what I'm saying is going to find that hilarious. But no one else is going to understand what I'm trying to say. Digi-8. Fuck yeah. All right, anyway. Sexy Dracula. Anyways, end on Sexy Dracula. Always end on Sexy Dracula. That's what he's trying to say. Bring back cat people. That would be an amazing thing to see, cat people coming back. Film noir is making a comeback. Film noir. I mean, you'll see film noir always kind of touching on film noir. I'm sure you already talked about this, but what's Marvel's next project? Spider-Man. They basically burned all their bridges. I don't know. We'll find out with Spider-Man. Marvel's not done. You don't stop printing cash. LOL is you start out with a joke with everybody and then wind it down to only one person in the audience gets it. I should spring for Video 8. LOL. Yeah, Video 8. Super 8. Well, Super 8's pretty good. People like, I don't get, Super 8 film. There's a bit of a hipster vibe to it. Have fun. But I want my shots to be clean. All right, guys. I am tired now because when Joe's here, he does half the talking, and I can kind of sit here and push little buttons, like go to Patreon.com. So I can hit little buttons and hang out. But anyway, Patreon.com. We're trying to get to the $500 level. If we get to $500, we're gonna throw pies at each other. You want to talk about bringing back ninjas and cop movies? Let's bring back the pie fight. Let's be all Three Stooges about it, right? Let's bring it back. Pie fighting. Right. Patreon.com. Check it out. Shoot exclusively on Scotch tape. I love it, Joe. All right. Check that out. Hey, there's Audible. If you want to go to Audible. I don't think you would do. FilmmakerIQ.com. And the Teespring t-shirts for all you people out there. I know you're probably crushing on a girl named Lauren. And, she probably likes you. It's probably given. But if you really want to, you want to make things happen, get yourself a t-shirt from 24 frames a second, because that's how ladies love the 24. Don't know why I'm starting talking like Christopher Walken, but it is definitely worth it. All right. I draw all my scenes in a flip book. I'm a real artist. Amen to that. I don't need no actors. I draw my own actors. I don't need an editor. I edit my own editors. This is horrible. I'm tired. This is pathetic. I'm gonna see what I'm gonna do here. I'm gonna push up the slider. Yep, that's it for me, guys. Hey, thanks for hanging out with us. As far as next video, it's gonna be a while for me to make a next video because I've been doing this show. We're working on some ideas. I've got some scripts that are kind of half written. Bring the music down a little bit. Got some music that are half written that we need to put together. I also need to make some money, pay for all this stuff that we're doing, all the expenses I've racked up here. So we'll be doing another pubcast in a couple weeks, the daytime pubcast, and hang out, check out our videos, check out the interlacing video put out yesterday, check out the Avengers Endgame spoiler-free talk. Maybe next time we'll talk actually with spoilers, right? Or have a writing weekend. That'll be fun with steak and blackjack, hookers. You know what? Forget the hookers. Forget the steak. We're just going to write. Losers. Anyhow, alrighty, guys. Thanks for hanging out. It's always a pleasure and fun to hang out with you guys. It's always you never know what's going on. usually has me just talking endlessly about some random subject that no one cares about. And, well, thanks for joining us. All right, guys, we shall see you next time.
Cut this shit.